Hey guys, Mars Singing here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at TEQ Vegito Blue with his EZA. Obviously mine is full level 10 links. He's got some reasonable equips. I went for somewhat of a mix. You do want some additional at least, right, so you can get that hidden potential. He does have additional attacks built into his passive, so you're more likely to trigger his additional anyway. So in retrospect, if I went back, I could probably give him a little bit less additional. But I gave him a silver level 5 additional quite a while ago, and I don't really want to cancel it out since it's one of the better ones. I guess if I pull dupes of him in the future, I might change at least one of his additional nodes to crit if possible. So if we take a look at what he does, he raises attack and defense, infinite stack, disables the enemy's guard and does immense damage to the enemy. And then his passive is 150% defense at the start of the turn. He gets 50% extra defense when attacking, and then he launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a medium chance of becoming a super, so 30%. He also gets 20% attack with each attack performed, up to 200%. So 10 times he needs to attack in order to be fully built up. But fortunately it is any attack, so he's always going to get 3 attacks per turn, right? Even if you can't get enough ki to super and then the attacks from his passive don't convert into supers, he's still going to be attacking 3 times. And then obviously if you do get the hidden potential, it's going to be 4 times. So you do want at least 1 4 attack turn, and then it will take him 3 appearances essentially to be fully built up. So he also gets ki plus 3 and a medium chance to crit within the same turn after receiving an attack. So the interesting thing about that, I'm going to not super with you because I feel like you'll just absolutely annihilate Vegeta here otherwise. The problem with that is obviously early on he's not really going to be good enough to be in slot 1, right? But as you get further and further through the event and he actually starts to get built up, then you actually could get to the point where you could put him in slot 1. And then he's going to have that extra chance to crit, which is one of the reasons why I did give him a relatively decent amount of additional. Because once you get to having a certain amount of crit built in, then you obviously don't want him to have tons of crit in the hidden potential system. So he is a unit that I definitely think is good to go for a mix of both. Now, one thing to point out, which you can see, right, starting out, 1.7 for his first attack. When we think about like 2022 EZA TURs, that seems incredibly low, but obviously this is kind of the thing, and we've talked about this in previous videos before. When it comes to infinite stacking units, they do often start out quite low. Plus, you have to remember, when you think about units' passives, when we're talking about some of these 2022 EZA TURs, they've got passives that are like, 180% attack and defense, whereas this guy, technically, at the beginning of turn 1, has 0% attack, right? And when he does that first attack, he gets 20%, and then 20% for each one, plus obviously the super attack effect of the stacking. So, on the first turn, it's almost guaranteed that he's going to look unimpressive, right? Because he's getting no attack in his passive whatsoever. That very first attack is basically him coming in with like 0% attack. But straight away after the first turn, it did that thing where it skipped the animation of the normal attacks. I don't know why it still does that. I swear that's been a bug, or a bug in the game for years now, where you get the additional cut-in come up for like a normal attack, but you don't see it, and you just kind of see the enemy's health bar go down a little bit. I don't know why they've never addressed that, but I'm pretty sure that happened last turn, and then we got the additional from the hidden potential. So I think he did attack 4 times last turn, and he got, was it 2 supers, or did he only get 1? I think he got 2, right? So 2 stacks, and we got 4 attacks, so 80% attack. So again, I don't really want to be putting him in slot 1 too much. Now, the problem is, he doesn't link very well with Vegeta and Trunks. Now, once we eventually transform with them, these guys are going to link up super well. When I look at his link partners, his best link partners are both of the 5-year LRs. But obviously, both of them are a little bit outdated now. And then when it comes to his link partners after that, we've got the Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas. We've got both versions of the LR Vegito, the STR and the Int, but obviously they need to transform to get to that point. Physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, who doesn't provide any support to this unit because he's not crossover or giant 8 power. So unfortunately, he doesn't fit in a lot of these places. So I'm going to put him in slot 1 here. Because we are in the Vegeta event, we can kind of get away with it, right? He's got 200k defense at the start of this turn, with no support and only 2 links. Obviously, it's not the craziest, but it will have to do. Now, because he's getting hit in slot 1, we get that extra key, so we don't need to worry about that too much. We also get the crit chance as well, so we'll see if we can fire off some crits. So he's up to just under 3 million. Again, for like attacking on his second appearance, that still feels quite low. We jump up to 3.3, because remember, each of these attacks, we're not only getting the stack from his super attack effect, but we're also getting that 20% attack every time as well. And him getting a whole bunch of supers, look at that. Was that the 4 super turn? There we go. Up to 4.2. That's when he starts to look more impressive. And we got all of those stacks for his defense as well. So we'll get this guy floated off. Now that he's transformed into blue, they share 6 links. Every single link except for this guy, legendary power, and what's the link that you have that he doesn't have? Oh, warrior gods. Okay, so not bad, not bad. Right, we'll do this. I feel like, I guess I could just not super with either of these guys, right? Because if I leave all of this STR key down here, I want to make sure this links up. If I do this, it should drop that there, right? Yep. Alright, so we'll do this. Obviously in this event, because the enemy's not as tough, I might as well put Vegito in slot 1 if it's beneficial to do so for like the links and stuff. Unfortunately, I'm recording these all after work. Like you guys know if you watch my summon video or you follow me on Twitter, I had to work all day when all this stuff came out, so I got the Extreme Z battle done at work. And now here I am afterwards in the evening trying to get all this stuff recorded. I've completely lost my train of thought of where I was even going with that. But yeah, so because I've been recording all this other stuff and doing all these other showcases, I've already done all 3 attempts for the day on the Shadow Dragon stage. So I just recorded the Rosé showcase. So that's why we're jumping into the Vegeta event, because I basically have to get this recorded because I'm at work all day again tomorrow. So let's see. Do you get any extra links from you? Wait, you actually don't. Wait, do you not have power bestowed by God? Oh yeah, they don't have that just for having the earring. They actually have to be the fusions, don't they? Wow, that's crazy. Alright, so with the 40% support from Goku Black, we're now starting off at 366k defense, which is okay, I guess. Remember that he's getting an extra 50% when attacking as well. So he's not really supposed to be a slot 1 unit, even though he gets that extra key and chance to crit. So I feel like that is there for when he is built up enough to be a slot 1 unit. But as we can kind of see from the way this has been going so far, it does kind of take a while for you to get to that point. So because we're on turn 5, which doesn't seem too crazy, but if you think about doing like Red Zone Broly, for example, depending on the team that you're bringing, like even if, say we brought this exact team build, which I don't know if I'd really want to bring the 5-year Vegito and STR Vegito into the Broly event. But by this point, we would probably be at the AoE phase. So we're getting to the point where it's like essentially too late to like build up stacks enough to be in slot 1. Once we get to that point, you're ready or you're not, essentially, for some of these units. So let's go ahead and do this. Unfortunately, transforming with the STR Vegito, we do need to drop below a certain amount of HP, which on this team feels very unlikely, especially if Vegeta's going to do things like super attacking Trunks and Vegeta, so he does double-digit damage. But I guess really for this initial showcase, all I really wanted to see was if we could get a whole bunch of stacks with Vegito Blue and what would he look like. We did get to see that like all super attacks turn, which is very good, but he definitely is a unit that can suffer, like we saw on the previous rotation, from the fact that he starts to get going, starts doing some additionals, but if he kills the enemy with the second attack, then that's 2 potential super attacks, 2 more stacks that could have come out that turn, but we don't get that opportunity because we finished off the enemy. So just like Rose, I feel like both of these units are kind of in this weird position where, like, Rose obviously wants to be getting the finishing blow, so you're trying to position him in a way that he can do that. And then this Vegito Blue, you want him to be getting as many attacks as possible, so you don't want to be in a position where he's getting off like one super attack and then killing the enemy, because then, like I say, he's leaving a lot of that potential build-up behind, essentially. So, see, on this rotation, we have every link. Once Kamehameha and Power Bestowed by God are links that you activate by getting a certain amount of ki. I think for the sake of this, since it's obviously not a difficult event, I guess I might as well just do this, right, and have the Tech Vegito in the second slot. So we're at 362k defense with no support. That is pretty good. So let me... Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter about getting ki for the 5-year Vegito. I don't really care what he's doing in this video, to be fair. So we'll do this, and then we'll just do this. So let's see what Vegito Blue can do here. Now, in this scenario, it would be best for us to not get a bunch of crits, so we could potentially get as many attacks as possible. So he's up to 6.84 now. I'm pretty sure his passive is fully built up, but give me at least one more super. He's going to kill him, isn't he? Yeah. So we're fully built up in terms of the number of attacks from his passive, and we got up to 6.8. So on the next turn, his super should be over 7 million, which is, you know, decent, but we're talking about, like, it's going to be turn 9. So I'm not too sure about this Tech Vegito Blue in terms of, like, where we would use him to his best effect. Obviously, Red Zone Broly, I've mentioned it already, but, like, you do kind of get a little bit of leeway because the final phase is Tech, so is AGL, so as a Tech unit, he doesn't need to stack as much in order to be somewhat decent defensively against Broly. The problem is, as well, with this guy, imagine going into one of these harder bosses and then he's in, like, slot 7. So he doesn't appear until turn 3. And then by the time you get to the final phase to face the main boss, like, his defense is not going to be anywhere near what you want it to be. So it'd be interesting to see if anything comes out in the future that really makes this guy shine, because obviously Red Zone has kind of shifted the way the most difficult events play out. It'll be interesting to see if we ever get a new legendary event, like Legendary Freezer event or something like that, which is on a much higher difficulty level to the Vegeta and GT Goku events, but is obviously like a long event where it takes like 11, 12 turns. Obviously, with some teams that are pure damage will speed blitz it a lot faster than that, but an event like that would obviously give this Vegito Blue much more of a chance to get fully built up, and then potentially start looking really, really good. So let's see, we're at 392k, so basically at 400k without support. And again, remember, he gets 50% when attacking, so that means his defense is going up with the actual super attack effect as well. Even if he only got one super, he's going to be at like 600k defense after supering, which is pretty good. Even against some of the tougher bosses, right? He's going to be eating normals from pretty much everyone. And then Red Zone Broly with a super attack, because he has type advantage. I'm assuming he would survive, right? Because Broly does over 1 million damage. The type advantage with the defense that we have currently, I think he would probably survive. He probably would take a lot of damage, but he would survive. And we get the double super as well. So on this turn, we are looking at being at what, like 650, close to 700k defense, which is good. Again, like, him and Rose are kind of in a similar spot where, in their best case scenario, either Vegito Blue having a decent amount of build up, Rose having already gotten like the finishing blow, they're going to be another pair of units that fit perfectly into that slot where a lot of units seem to reside nowadays, where against some of the toughest bosses in the game, they are obviously going to be fine when it comes to tanking normal attacks, but then if they eat a super, even after they've super attacked, we are potentially looking at death for them. So let me know what you guys think of Tech Vegito Blue down below in the comments section. Who do you like more, Vegito Blue or Rose? Obviously they can both be run on like Future Saga and Time Travelers and stuff, but you know, otherwise they are going to have very different teams. Vegito Blue obviously benefits from having a 200% lead, and Goku Black doesn't. In fact, Vegito Blue has multiple 200% leads because he's on the LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s, because he's a fused fighter and Power Beyond Super Saiyan, and of course Kamehameha, so he's on both of their teams. Whereas Goku Black units have no 200% leader skills, so Vegito Blue definitely in a better place overall in terms of who he has around him, especially because he has units like, even the LR Gods, for example, they share 4 links with him. Who else have we got here who's actually like a decent, you know, meta-relevant unit for some of these hard events? LR Gogeta you can kind of get away with using the tech one, right? Because his Scouter ability can still be useful in some events. They share 4 links. Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the transforming one from Super Saiyan 2, they share 4 links. God Goku, he shares 4 links. So obviously in a lot of these tough events, you could just go ahead and put God Goku in slot 1. And then have Vegito Blue going off in slot 2. So he definitely is in a much better place than the Rose. So now with, now with the 40% support from Goku Black, we are now over 10 million attack stat on the super. Can we actually get an additional super? Come on, there we go, 10.5. Would we go up to 11? I guess we're going to kill him, so it doesn't matter. But, oh no. Oh, we didn't get the hidden potential one. I guess it's up to the 5th year LR Vegito Blue. 5.6 after the tech one just put out 10.5. But, I mean, that's stacking units for you, right? So, let me know what you guys think of Tech Vegito Blue down below in the comment section. He's definitely solid, but I just feel like some of the tougher events are not going to be long enough for him to build up. But I guess we'll find out, because we'll try taking him into some of them. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.